Well, here we go, John. The beginning of this fifth fight. It is for the OBC lightweight title.
Now, Buzz Ground shares a trainer with Sandy Seguras. Little Tyson, who's sitting ringside right now, she's leaning forward in her chair. She's as anxious as we are to see this fight, Billy.
I don't see her. Where is she?
She's right there wearing the red shirt. You'll see right at the end of at the aisle there, right behind the blue corner. She's wearing a red shirt. She's got black hair, black leggings on.
I see her. Wow.
Yeah, that's what most people say when they see Sandy Seguras.
When you said Little Tyson, I was kind of...
oh, she looks nothing like Big Mike.
No.
Who, by
I'll
the way,
be right back.
Yeah, no kidding, eh, Billy? You know, I really do feel bad for Mike Tyson and, you know, his loss and his family. And, you know, our hearts and our prayers really do go out to Mike. And, you know, it was a sad thing that happened to Exodus. And, you know, having a daughter myself, I can really feel for you, Mike. So, you know, God bless from the guys over here at Talkin' Boxing.
No doubt. My Iron Mike Tyson, one of my all-time favorite fighters. And our condolences go out to him and the rest of his family. Here we are in Brantford, Ontario. This is the co-main event. It's for the OBC lightweight title. And it's picking up where all the other fights left off, John. It's starting off, you know, it's not a snoozer. It's starting off with some action. Both fighters seem to be feeling each other out. It's the first 6-round fight of the evening. We've been dealing with 4-rounders all night. And like you said, it seems evenly matched as the, you know, first round is unfolding here.
Well, you can see, you know, these two guys here. Buzz is definitely the boxer, moving laterally, trying to set up his punches, not really giving Harrison a target in front of him that he can just go out and bang. And, you know, Harrison's trying to just move forward and smack Buzz with a couple of good punches. Right now, I think Buzz is carrying the fight in the sense that, you know, he's dictating the pace of this fight. He's fighting the fight that he wants to fight. There's a nice little straight left hand by Harrison right when I said that. So it's far from over. We're looking at the first round, and you know this is an Ontario title fight. So this is history in the making. The winner of this fight will be the first ever Ontario Boxing Council champion.
Buzz Grant, Buzz Grant in the red trunks, and Harrison King Mcbain in the black trunks. And both fighters, you know, they're still in a feel-out round. I mean, this is clearly a feel-out round. Because it's a 6-round fight. Oh, what a solid shot.
What a
solid shot.
Buzz Grant.
Well, we know that he's got a chin, and that neck is obviously working okay because it just looked like a speed bag on a swivel.
You know, it almost looked like a slinky, like it bent all the way back, and I was waiting for him to flip back over and go down the step, but no, he was fine. His head snapped back, and he doesn't look a whole lot worse for wear other than that big red welt on his head.
Nope, and it's just about the end of the first round. And what I was starting to say, John, was the first 6-round fight of the night. This is the first fight that the fighters actually have a chance to have a feel-out round.
Well, we're talking a different class of fighter. We're going to notice in the next 2 rounds, in the next 2 matches, that these are the type of guys that are one step below a Canadian title. Now, Buzz has had almost a 2-year layoff, and he's moved up 13 pounds in weight. But this kid is a Canadian champion that didn't give up his title. So, you know, these guys on the Canadian scene, right before you get to that world level, you know, they're right there. Buzz's record of 6-4 really is deceiving in this case. Harrison Mcbain, you know, I'd like to see him try to press the issue more in the next round and show that he really belongs in the ring with this guy and that, you know, make a stake for this title.
Well, you know, these kinds of titles for the younger fighters, I like it, you know, but I think it's just another process in maturing as a fighter to, you know, gain one of these types of titles and move on. You know, let's face it, you know, like you said before, you call a spade a spade. I mean, these are still young fighters and they all have a long way to go.
Oh, guaranteed, absolutely. There's no doubt in that. You know, all of our fight fans at home that are watching this can see that, you know, we're not looking at Juan Manuel Marquez versus Manny Pacquiao here. But, you know, this is a step-up fight from the competition we've seen earlier, you know, minus the women, because I got to give those girls full credit. So far, that's still my favorite fight of the night.
It's the best fight of the night. And you know, the thing is again, you know, we've been giving the matchmaker credit, and the reason why you have to give him the credit is because each fight regardless of how experienced or inexperienced the fighters are, they're putting on a good show. And they're evenly matched, and everybody is benefiting from it. Us, the listeners, obviously the live fans here, and the fighters themselves, because they're testing their skills against a guy that's, not overwhelming or underwhelming.
I don't really understand why the Ontario Athletic Commission seem to be giving this so much of a hard time. Like, in the amateur ranks, you start off as a novice, you work your way into open, and then you work your way into different titles. You start in your own country, and then you start looking at international competition. Then the natural stepping stone is to turn pro, and it makes sense to give these guys something to really strive for, because it's a big jump from making your pro debut to becoming a national champion. And it's a big jump from becoming a national champion to a world champion. So, giving your guys in your own country, and specifically here in your own province, an opportunity to really throw it out on the line, because there's something there that you're going after. There's a title, there's a belt. And, I think this makes perfect sense. I'm 100% for the Ontario Boxing Council. I hope it becomes a successful venture.
I think it will, and I think it's a step in, one of the things that I'm always saying, and John, you know it as well as I, and all my listeners hear me say it every day, that, fighters don't want to fight tough fights. It's like my phrase, everybody wants to fight, but nobody wants to fight anybody. This type of competition at this stage of their careers puts them in tough fights early on. And I think that it's going to pay dividends in these young fighters' careers as they move on with their careers. They're going to get better and better, facing good opposition. Hey, if you want to be the best, you got to fight the best.
And that's the greatest thing about this scenario, is that you're breaking the best into groups and seeing who's the best at this level, who's the best at that level. And you're right, Billy. You're upping the levels of the fighters in the process.
And it's like any sport, John. When you're fighting somebody good, or at least as good as you are or a little better, it elevates your performance. So, when you're always fighting a guy that you're way much oodles above in terms of talent. Here's my girl again. In terms of talent, you never get any better.
And that's the truth. And the other thing is that, this is prize fighting. And that belt is part of the prize for these guys right now. And this is really what boxing's all about. You put two guys in the ring, you give them something to fight for, and let them go at it. At this level, these guys aren't making a whole lot of money. No. So the belt means more to them than what they're getting paid. And I like the idea of giving these guys, something extra, pushing them that little bit further. The Ontario Boxing Council is doing just that.
I think what it's doing is it's adding a pool of fighters, John, that's going to pay dividends down the road. In a couple of years, these fighters are going to have these kinds of fights under their belts. That's going to carry a long way, I think.
Most definitely. I've been noticing round by round, we're getting a lot of the same thing here. Buzz's, boxing Harrison completely the whole time. You see he's throwing a lot of jabs as opposed to what we saw earlier tonight. And, there it is. He's timing his punches. There's not a whole lot of power punches Buzz Grant's landing until right now when it's just wobble Harrison. And Buzz is really outclassing this kid with his boxing skill.
Well, I said it earlier, and it seems that it's coming true. Both of these fighters realized that they had 6 rounds to go, and they started off a little slow, and it seems like they're shifting into the next gear now, here in this round.
Well, Buzz definitely has.
Beautiful right hand. He slipped that punch and landed a solid right hand. You got to give Mcbain credit. He's got a good pair of whiskers on him, that's for sure.
Oh, I'm definitely not going to deny that about Harrison. The kid's got a great chin, and he's actually a really good fighter. It's at his sorts for him right now, but again, he's fighting the slickest guy he's ever been in the ring with, without a doubt, and it's showing. Look at the patience of Buzz Grant. He's keeping his distance. He knows he's not going to hit Harrison from there. He's making sure Harrison can't get in and hit him. And the minute Harrison makes a mistake, he's going to make him pay for it. Just like he did right there.
For a guy that's got a short body and not the greatest length of arms, and I'm talking about Buzz Grant, he's able to get that jab in pretty good, and he follows it with his right hand pretty effectively.
And that crowd's getting behind Harrison Mcbain right now. I'm kind of beside myself in a bit that, he's got this much of a following. Here it comes. Now the Buzz fans get in there. And you know what? There it comes. And this is the thing I love about Ontario. These guys they love their boxing over here.
That's why I'm glad I'm part of this historical night, John, because, I cry about it all the time. And the bottom line is what we need in this business is we need fan support. And it seems that Canada has it. I noticed it in the amateurs. I've been watching it for a long time. They fill up stadiums. People are energetic. We see fights like this. It's similar to the UK and Germany, and it's something that we in the States are lacking.
We are a fast-growing market. We have a lot of people out here that are willing to support these guys. If we were able to market this even better, because remember, almost everybody that's here right now is here with little to no advertising whatsoever. So these are just pure fight fans that stay in the loop and come out and support their guys. I'm looking at the stands on the other side, and they're not overly full. If you've seen right below where we are, Billy, I don't know if you've had a chance to look down there yet.
No, I haven't been allowed to leave. You pulled up the rope ladder. I can't get out of this rafter.
No kidding. When you say rafter, you're not kidding, my man.
Actually, the crowd it's such a huge arena. The crowd there's a lot of people here. It doesn't look it in the seats, but when you look on the floor, all those tables are full. And there's 10 people at every table, John.
Well, you've seen yourself firsthand. We're in a small town. We went out last night. We checked out the casino. There was a few people there. We walked outside. I said, Billy, let's go for a walk. He's like, why bother?
Listen,
there's nobody out here anywhere.
John's exaggerating. I felt like there was a nuclear war happened because there wasn't a car. There wasn't a person. He's like, let's go to the clubs. I'm like, where? There wasn't a place. I said, I want to go back to the room and go to sleep. Here we are. We're in the next round. And,
there's a
there you go.
straight left hand by
Harrison
Harry
King
McBain.
looks like I think they might have mentioned to him that he's letting his fight slip away, John.
Well, Buzz is doing what Buzz does. Buzz moves lateral. He's not afraid to make you come to him. When you do come to him, you're going to taste his jab. You make a mistake, and you're going to catch that right hand. It's no secret what Buzz Grant likes to do, and Harrison's known that coming into this fight. But Buzz Grant, as usual, is executing, and that's the difference between these two right now. I think Buzz is the one that's getting his punches off. He's definitely landing more, and he's got to be winning every round.
Towards the close of the last round, he looked like he was really taking control of the fight.
He got hit with a low blow there.
But this round, it looks like Harrison has come in, and I think he realizes that the fight was slipping away, to be honest with you. He's a little more aggressive this round. He's blocking Buzz's punches a little better this round. And we'll see if he can keep it up.
Well, he's definitely putting in a game effort. He's got to cut down the ring, though. Without cutting down the ring, you're never going to catch Buzz Grant.
Again, I like the way the referees are letting these guys fight inside. It's a lost art, but it's part of boxing. And a lot of times I see referees, too often than not, break fighters up as soon as they get in close.
No, the officiating tonight's been absolutely perfect. And now these guys are battling. Mcbain, when he does cut Buzz off, he's throwing punches. He definitely wants to win this fight. He's not here to pick up a paycheck and go home. He wants that belt. But, Grant's been very slick, and he's been elusive the entire night, and we'll see what happens. Try a little feint. Harry wants to get in and hit this guy.
One thing I'll mention that I noticed today at the weigh-in, that all these fighters were very friendly to each other, and, it's nothing personal, John. It's business is business. And, we see these aggressive fights, competitive fights, but I'm sure these guys are going to go have a beer later on.
Well, for the most part, they are. It was like earlier on at the weigh-in when I got to go in and talk to most of the people that were there, and, it was funny. People that were along with them that I never met, they're so friendly out here, and we are away from a big city type life. It is more small country, and everybody's been nice. The fighters have been nice, the promoters, their managers. I saw one guy was with you for about a half an hour, and you guys were doing what you do. You were talking boxing. That was a beautiful left hand by Harrison Mcbain there.
That round was close, John.
That was the closest round of this fight, bar none, easily. But we're going to be into the last 2 rounds, and are these the championship rounds, Billy?
Yeah, for the OBC they are. Here we are in the beginning of the 5th round. It's going to start, and hey, 6-round fights. Like I said, these cards are the backbone of the business. And I don't mean to be redundant, but the truth of the matter is, it's the truth. And how successful. It's a shame that more people didn't come here from the States. I know it's a long drive for people in my neck of the woods, but this is what we're missing in the States. Cards like this, and I'd be lying if I said that there's cards like this in the States. At least I haven't been to any. Not where you have every single fight as competitive as we've seen tonight, John.
And this fight and the fight with Frankie, have been the 2 fights where a lot of people had told us coming into the fights that they were expecting things to be lopsided. Actually, the fight with Karen Priscilla, we were told the same thing as well. We've got a lot of good action. You got to remember, these guys are paying $20 for a ticket, and you've seen where the stands are. It's a pretty good ticket for $20.
No doubt. You talk about value. You can't beat it. You really can't. And like I said, these fights are all good. We did think that some of them were going to be a little one-sided, but we've been wrong so far, John.
Well, absolutely. We've been here since early yesterday, talking to all the fighters, everybody involved in the game that's been here at the hotel, and we've been really talking about the things that we've been fed. Some of these guys I've known personally, and we've been talking about that as well. But I have not been disappointed. Every fight has been competitive, and some of the fights where people were telling us, oh, this is going to be a blowout, this is a no-brainer. Well, you know what? It has been a competitive card so far, definitely.
Every fight has been competitive. I mean, if you want to say one fight wasn't, it was the 4th one against Franca B and Chris Acoin. But the bottom line is, even that turned out to, went to distance. I mean, despite 2 knockdowns, it went to distance. And every other fight, and like you, I still think Kara McLeod's and Priscilla Trompowski's fight was the best fight of the evening so far.
Beautiful straight left by Harrison. He caught Buzz sleeping there after, jab there. That's right back to regular Buzz Grant. Quick jabs, all with the right hand. The Abui fight was a bit lopsided on the scorecard, but Chris Acoin's a tough kid, and like we both knew, he had a cut going into this fight. He somehow got it by the doctor. I don't know how he did manage to pull that off. The thing opened almost instantly, and he didn't care. He sat there and he did his thing.
I think it opened up when they were putting the Vaseline on it.
Here comes Buzz. In and out.
The 10-second warning. Both fighters are finishing strong to close the 5th round. I thought it was the warning.
It might have been a whistle from out of the crowd.
Maybe it was what I'm used to. The regular 10-second warning. There's
the real one. And Harry's just moving forward, throwing punches. Walked into a right hand. And that's the end of the round. So we got 1 more to go. And you know what? As this fight progresses, Harrison's more and more in this fight. Billy's not talking right now. His mouth's wide open. He's looking at his favorite ring card girl.
I tell you, for a small town, there's a lot of attractive women here.
I'm not going to deny it. I admitted earlier that when we were going around, and I was talking to everybody that was involved in this card, some of these ring card girls in the front, the boxers that were upstairs. I didn't even realize that Kara McLeod was a fighter. She's such a pretty girl.
I didn't either. None of them ever talked to me though, John.
You know what, Billy? We'll change that. We'll change that later on. You gotta remember, that was before the fight, so they're focused. I've known these guys for a long time. Give them an opportunity when the fights are over to loosen up a little bit. And I'm sure that you're gonna have girls all over you before you go back home, Billy.
I think the problem is I'm getting too old, brother.
You know,
John just went, you might be right. Anyway, moving right along. This is sixth and final round.
The cab driver on the way here lets you know that you are completely wrong in that regards.
The cab. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I didn't know which one you were talking about. I get in a cab the other day and they start cutting up New York. I was wondering. I was ready to hit that guy. What was up with that?
Nah, that guy didn't know what he was talking about. The minute we walked in there, he started introducing himself to me as a guy that knew me for a long time, and I never met the guy in my life. He hears Billy's accent, starts telling him how bad New York is.
I know.
You know, this guy was a real piece of work.
And he's trying to do a New York imitation too. That was like kind of funny. But I get that all the time. Another fight that kind of shocked a lot of people, John. People didn't think this was going to be an even fight.
Well, you know, Buzz is giving him a chance to brawl right now. I think Buzz is, it's a little bravado thing. Buzz has got to realize he's ahead on the scorecards, and, he's going in and he's starting to exchange a bit. Harrison's power is starting to show up a little bit more this round. I think Harrison actually is winning this round, though Buzz probably just landed the best punch of the round right there with that straight right. A nice left hook, too. But Harrison has more power, and it's showing up. I'd really like to see Buzz go back to the game plan. Use the jab, make him miss, and make him pay.
I'd like to see Buzz get a regular haircut. What's up with that? Looks like kind of a weave.
Yeah, it is different.
Yeah, he is. Nice kid, though. He was the one, as soon as he got on the scale and was legal, he ate a whole box of cookies.
Yeah, he was walking around everywhere with the cookies.
Those are probably your daughter's favorite, those vanilla, what do they call them?
Like digestibles or something.
No, there was those vanilla cookies, all the little kids.
Round white ones. With all the little.
He must have had 2 boxes, because when I saw him, he was eating those vanilla, what do they call them, vanilla wafers or something?
Yeah, he was eating two different ones.
Oh, God. Well, hey, fighters are people too, John.
Hey, you know how it is. After you make weight, I remember, myself in our camp, it was a regular routine. We go to McDonald's and all you can eat pancakes.
I'm shocked to see Buzz trapped in the corner there.
He's starting to look a little
tired, right?
Yeah, a little gassy.
Yeah.
It looks like he might be gassing out a little bit here. And that's surprising for Buzz Grant.
I always wonder about a lot of the younger fighters today, John, if they're doing the road work that they should. A lot of fighters think that a treadmill or a bicycle or a stair machine will give them the same training that running on a road is, and it's not true. You gotta do your road work.
You're 100% right, Billy. It's a huge part of the fight game, and it's becoming a lost art to some guys. What a way to finish the fight. Mcbain looked phenomenal in the last round.
He looked strong in the last 2 rounds. Again, it's going to make this decision close, John.
There's only a 6-rounder, and it's a lot like the contender competition. You got to come out swinging at that first bell because you don't have a whole lot of time to establish points and build up a lead.
Well, I'm curious to see what Smoking Steve's got to say this time.
Yeah.
We got Sid Vanderpool climbed the rope ladder, and he's back in the booth with us. What'd you think of that one, Sid?
Definitely an entertaining fight. I think Buzz should get the decision here. He was busier for most of the fight. Just in the last round there, he's a little bit fatigued, but I think for the most part, he did most of the action.
We said the same thing. It looked like he started running out of gas in the last 2 rounds. It looked like Harrison King Mcbain might have squeaked out the last 2, but again, it's going to be a close decision. Very competitive fights tonight, Sid.
They have been. They're all competitive. No one guy just came in and dominated, and a good job by the matchmaker.
I tell you, I hate to say it, but the female fight still
fight in the night.
You can't deny that. I mean, that was a brawl, man.
Well, who knows? Maybe the last one, the main event. Be someone to come and steal the show.
You know, we were lucky we had Natasha and Lisa Bad News Brown up here, and both of them were like in awe of that fight, and so were we.
Yeah, those girls left everything in the ring, and that's what it should be.
I was surprised at the chin of Priscilla Trompowski's. She took some shots. I mean, I was shocked.
She took some shots and kept on firing back. You know, it was awesome.
I mean, usually when you get stunned like that, you kind of hold on a little and regain. She fought her way out of it and came back stronger.
I mean, even taking those headshots takes something out of you physically, and for her to be able to punch with the power that she was able to over all those rounds shows the conditioning that she'd done in the gym.
You know, in order to be fair to both of those girls, Kara's got a pretty good chin on her too, Billy.
No doubt. No, I mean, I know that. But she was landing some flush. I mean, those shots that Priscilla took were pretty flush. I was not expecting her to stay on her feet.
Yeah, and Kara was throwing some nice combinations. So lead right hooks, uppercuts. Yeah,
She was more technically sound.
Absolutely, but you know what? Priscilla landed some really good punches. It was a really close fight. You know,
John, you wanted a rematch.
I want the rematch, and I'm trying to build up right now.
Here we go to the official decision.
The lightweight title tonight, former Dallas Cowboy, former Toronto Argo, currently found on TSN and the Fan 590, Trish Schultz.
All right, so this will be the first Ontario Boxing Council title ever awarded. It's going to be the lightweight title, and it's going to go to the winner of this fight.
This is history in the making. Buzz Grant, that's how I see the fight. That's also fair. That's the one. Unanimously.
And as you can hear from Steamin' Steve, Buzz Grant has taken the first OBC title that's ever been issued. It's a lightweight title. He won a unanimous decision.